Hello everybody and welcome back to 31 Days of NaNoWriMo Prep. Yesterday we talked about what NaNoWriMo is and why you should participate. If you missed it, I'll post the link in the cards right up there and also in the description below along with the corresponding blog post. So now that you know what NaNoWriMo is and you're hopefully all signed up, it's time to decide what story you'll be writing in the month of November. And yes, you should be deciding this right now because how are you going to prepare this month if you don't even know what you're preparing for? So let's hop right into it. I know from personal experience that deciding what story to tackle in a month can be a daunting task. Usually it goes one of two ways. One, you have no ideas and feel like you're getting in way over your head. Or two, you have a million ideas and it feels like there's no way you can pick just one to write. Luckily for you, and me, these obstacles really aren't as insurmountable as they may seem. If you feel like you don't have any ideas, that's okay. NaNoWriMo isn't just for the seasoned author who's been accumulating idea after idea for their whole life. I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere, right? Every writer has their very first novel idea, and now's the perfect time for you to have yours. And here's the real kicker. It doesn't even have to be a great idea. It doesn't have to be fleshed out the second you come up with it. It can just be a spark, an inkling of an idea. What matters is that it's a seed that you can then nurture and grow into a full novel. But Leighton, where can I get a novel idea on such short notice, you whimper, curling into the fetal position in the corner of the room, ready to give up already? Again, luckily for you and me, ideas aren't actually that few and far between when you're really looking for them. Sure, you'll probably have to get out of the house, which, yes, I know is a writer's worst nightmare. We're an introverted bunch. But those ideas are out there just waiting to be plucked out of thin air. All you've got to do is look. Be observant. The world is full of what-ifs that could turn into great story ideas. What if that woman sitting next to you on the train was a ninja? What if you suddenly obtained the ability to do crazy parkour? Again, this original idea doesn't have to be life-changing. It just has to be something that you feel confident you can build upon for at least 50,000 words. And while that might seem intimidating, trust me, it's doable. Now, if you're on the other end of the spectrum with 1,000,001 ideas, your job is even easier. Okay, are you ready? You sure? Brace yourself. You just have to pick one. But Leighton, you whine, joining that other person in the corner, also curling into the fetal position. I can't just pick one. They're all amazing and bound to win me 1,000,000 writing prizes and a $1 billion movie deal. Okay, well, I have news for you. You're never going to win a prize or a movie deal if you don't ever write one of the stories. Eventually, you've just got to pick one and run with it. And you can't stop until you're finished. I don't just mean finished with the first draft either. I mean you can't stop until it's published. You can't stop until it's out there in the world for people to read. Otherwise, what's the point? So, which one of these millions of ideas should you pick? Well, there's a few things you can look for. First, which one is more fleshed out? I mean, you might as well pick a story that you've already done a lot of legwork on, right? So if you have a story where you've already done substantial world building and you've got some characters fleshed out already and you know the general direction of the plot, then that's probably the story you should work on. Second, which story is the most enticing to you? After all, having a story that's already fleshed out is nice and all, but if you aren't actually interested in writing it, then what's the point? You're not only going to be writing the story for a month. You're going to be writing it for as long as it takes to get it published. And if you don't choose a story that you're going to enjoy the 5th, 8th, and 20th time you read through it, then you're in for one hell of a time. Third, which one could you write 50,000 words for? That is the point of NaNoWriMo, you know. So if you think a story would work better as a short story or a novella, then you probably shouldn't pick it. After all, this is National Novel Writing Month. Then again, rules are for chumps, am I right? So who am I to say that you can't write 2 novellas or 10 short stories? At the end of the day, all that matters is that you can get to 50,000 words by the end of November. And if you're like every other writer, then I'm willing to bet there's one more thing standing in the way of you choosing your story, whether you have one idea or 1,000,000. It's a question I'm positive every author is worried about in their lifetime. is my story original enough? I made a whole video about this topic, which I encourage you to watch. I'll link to it in the cards and in the description. But the TLDR version is this. Every story has already been told. What makes a story original is the plot. The unique way you, as the author, takes the story that's been told before, the story of a love triangle, or the vampire who falls in love with a human, or a kid with magic who finds out that he's a chosen one, and make it yours by creating new characters and new worlds and new plots. So go out there and write the story you want to read. The one that hasn't been told yet because you haven't told it. As for me, this NaNoWriMo, I'll be working on the sequel to my not yet published debut novel, The Caspian Chronicles: The Forbidden Prophecy. I'll be using elements from books 1 and 2 as examples in future NaNoWriMo prep vlogs, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Check back in tomorrow for day 3, where I'll be kicking off a two-parter on target audience by covering the distinction between middle grade and young adult fiction. If you like this video, then please hit that like button and also click subscribe and the bell icon so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Also, feel free to follow me on social media. You can find me on Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, and Twitter. All of the links will be in the description below. I also encourage you to check out my personal blog, readwritelovefiction.com, where I not only post companion blogs to these videos, but I also talk about my writing journey, things that are happening, that I'm coming across as I'm writing my books. Maybe you'll find it interesting, so go check it out. And please check out my official author website, LeightonJWilliams.com, which is the first place I'll be posting any updates to the status of my book, my debut novel. So if you're interested in that, go check that out as well. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!